Ric Flair reveals the truth behind his WWE release. Ronda Rousey blames fans for Bray Wyatt's release. And Chris Jericho responds to Vince McMahon saying he doesn't view AEW as competition. Hello everyone, Jose G here bringing you today's top stories in today's Sportskeeda Wrestling News Roundup. To stay up to date with all of our content, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Ric Flair reveals the truth behind his WWE release. WWE legend Ric Flair has opened up about his WWE release and has revealed the truth behind it. Flair has stated that he and WWE didn't see eye to eye on certain business opportunities. Ric Flair, in an interview with People following his release, dismissed reports about him being unhappy at storylines that Charlotte Flair was in. He categorically stated that he has no animosity with WWE and is not angry with them, saying, quote, "We just didn't see eye to eye on some business opportunities that I wanted to pursue, so I asked for my release. There has been no animosity and everything has been on friendly terms. It happens sometimes in business. You just don't see eye to eye. But how could I have any animosity towards the company who made me who I am? They literally made me who I am. Some of my best friends in the world work at the company. How could I possibly be upset with a company where my daughter is currently the most decorated women's wrestler in history?" End quote. Flair revealed that he had asked for his release from WWE, which was granted to him on August 3rd. Reports had suggested that Flair was unhappy at how Charlotte was booked and told Vince McMahon about it. Ric Flair returned to WWE in 2012 after featuring in various independent promotions. The two-time WWE Hall of Famer ended his in-ring career in TNA. Flair has been featured in various storylines in WWE since 2012, including some with his daughter Charlotte, Randy Orton, as well as the storyline between Batista and Triple H. He was in a storyline with Lacey Evans and Charlotte earlier this year, which he wasn't happy about being involved in. Flair had just signed a new Legends contract with WWE last year. WWE legend wants an intergender match between Charlotte Flair and top AEW star in an iconic clash. Charlotte Flair is regarded as one of the greatest female wrestlers in the history of pro wrestling, and she has done it all in Vince McMahon's promotion. WWE Hall of Famer Bully Ray wants to see her in an intergender match and has pitched for a bout between the Queen and AEW star Cody Rhodes. On the latest Busted Open Radio, Ray and Dave LaGreca discussed Ric Flair's release and pitched ideas for the two-time Hall of Famer in WWE if he joined the promotion. Bully Ray also pitched a dream match of sorts, a final match, Flair versus Rhodes encounter, this time between the children of the two pro wrestling icons, saying, quote, "You know how I'm always talking about Charlotte wrestling a guy and how I think it would be just good to see her in the ring with people that are better than her? I thought about something the other day, and wow, if Charlotte was ever going to be standing in the ring, staring a man in the eye and being face to face, I think I came up with the perfect person, Cody Rhodes. And in 2021, the marquee reads Flair versus Rhodes," end quote. Ray's co-host LaGreca believes that WWE should shy away from matches, but All Elite will do it. In an interview from earlier this year, Charlotte Flair was asked about intergender wrestling. She believes that women need not to have to compete against men, but could work well in certain situations. Ronda Rousey blames fans for Bray Wyatt's WWE release. Ronda Rousey has hit out at fickle WWE fans for following the release of Bray Wyatt. The former Raw Women's Champion has lashed out at the WWE Universe for being fickle when it comes to supporting Bray Wyatt, even going as far as to blame them for his release from the company. In a sensational tweet, Rousey wrote, quote, "I've seen you same fans chanting 'We want Wyatt' last night, chanting 'We want beach balls' over Bray Wyatt performing. If the WWE treated him like he was expendable, it was because you ungrateful idiots did first," end quote. Rousey clearly felt strong about this, calling fans ungrateful idiots for supporting Wyatt 1 minute and then criticizing him the next. This comes after the Chicago crowd at this week's Raw was briefly taken over with irreverent chants like CM Punk and, of course, "We want Wyatt." WWE announced Bray Wyatt's departure from the company on July 31st when they wished him all the best in his future endeavors. Although Wyatt hasn't been on WWE TV since WrestleMania in April, the news of his release still came quite as a shock to many, as he was considered to be one of the company's top attractions and biggest stars. WWE also quietly released Bray Wyatt's real-life partner JoJo Offerman. The pair have 2 children together, and Wyatt has 2 children from a previous relationship. It's not clear if Bray Wyatt will be returning to wrestling elsewhere in some capacity, or if he's decided to call it a day on his in-ring career. WWE to follow mask mandate at SummerSlam. WWE is set to present SummerSlam at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada on August 21st. Initially, there was no strict COVID-19 protocols in place for the fans to abide by. However, now it seems that the fans in attendance will be required to wear masks to attend the show. The announcement was made on WWE SummerSlam's event page through a pop-up message. The news comes as a result of the government enforcing a mask mandate in Las Vegas. Based on a recent report from USA Today, a few days ago, Nevada issued an emergency order stating that every individual is required to wear a face mask in public places, whether they're vaccinated or not. This protocol was enforced following the rise of COVID-19 cases in the state of Nevada. As per the New York Times, Nevada has been a sharp spike in COVID-19 cases within the last month, as they went from an average of 492 cases to 1,051 cases within 30 days. According to a recent report from KLAS TV, the COVID-19 positivity rate has gone up to 14.9 over the weekend. As of now, proof of vaccination is not required to attend WWE SummerSlam, but it is subject to change based on the trend in COVID-19 cases in Nevada. SummerSlam is WWE's second biggest event of the year after WrestleMania. Given the conditions WrestleMania took place in, WWE has been building a stacked card for the biggest party of the summer. As of now, only 3 matches have been confirmed: John Cena versus Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship, Bobby Lashley versus Goldberg for the WWE Championship, and Nikki ASH versus Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley for the Raw Women's Championship. There are other matches that are likely to take place at the show, even though they haven't been officially announced yet. Edge and Seth Rollins have been feuding ever since Money in the Bank, and SummerSlam is a suitable place for them to settle their rivalry. Sasha Banks recently returned and turned on Bianca Belair, setting up a possible WrestleMania rematch between the two. Chris Jericho responds to Vince McMahon saying he doesn't view AEW as competition. Chris Jericho has responded to Vince McMahon's comments that were made during a recent WWE second quarter financial call. The chairman was asked about AEW during the investors call and responded that he didn't feel AEW was competition. Chris Jericho was recently asked about Mr. McMahon's comment by Kenny McIntosh from Inside the Ropes, and the Ayatollah of Rock and Rolla wasn't all bothered by them, saying, quote, "Well, what else is he going to say? You know," and to respond to that, "We don't see WWE as competition." And he was smart to say that. We're not worried about what WWE is, and we haven't been since day one. We weren't worried about what NXT did. The whole time with the NXT versus AEW war, which ended in total abysmal failure for NXT, we never once had a TV screen watching what they did, what were they doing when we were doing it, end quote. While Chris Jericho is commenting on WWE's comments on AEW commenting on him, AEW President Tony Khan said that Jericho is still one of the biggest stars in wrestling, and his presence in many of the company's biggest matches has been invaluable. However, he also praised Jericho's help from behind the scenes, saying, quote, "He also, with his mind, helped me organize AEW. He brought in great names, helped with great story ideas. He's one of the most valuable people in wrestling. I was very fortunate to be linked up with Chris," end quote. Thanks for watching today's Sportskeeda Wrestling News Roundup. For more news stories and exclusive content, be sure you follow us on all social media. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Download the Sportskeeda app for the most up-to-date stories in the world of wrestling.